Welcome to the OneBigFire podcast. Today, we are interviewing one of our newer partners, social media rock star Miss GoGo. If you're not familiar with her, well, you're in for an amazing treat. But before we get into that, here's the big question. How are agents like us, who didn't get an opportunity to invest in a franchise early, who are spending our time and money to sell homes, building someone else's sellable asset, how do we grow our business, but still build wealth and get a piece of the pie that's not dependent on us working more hours? Well, that is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. On this episode, I'll be your host. My name is Michael Reese, and welcome to the OneBigFire podcast. If you want to build a business, if you want proven systems, and you want a process that gives you time back so you can invest your time where it matters, if you want clarity of exactly what to do next, or you want a plan so you don't have to start at zero every month, go to partnershipsurvey.com. Learn how you can partner with the dream team that's helped more agents get exponential growth with their business and profits without ever having to pay us a dime. We're partnering with agents across North America and Canada. We created a short video that explains the opportunity. Watch the video. If you like what you see, we can schedule a confidential call to answer any of your questions. If we both think we are good fits for each other, we can talk next steps. So go take the survey at partnershipsurvey.com. Now, back to today's episode. GoGo, after 6 short years in the business, she got motivated to add more streams of income to her business after attending a Toney Robbin conference. Like most people, she had heard about the EXP opportunity but didn't think it was for her. Now, she's the fastest person that I know of who sponsored more than 40 agents directly. How? Well, to find out how, she's done that by attracting and not recruiting agents and leveraging social media. You'll have to listen to this episode. So let's jump in. GoGo, are you there?
I am. Thank you for having me.
Well, I feel privileged. I tell your story all the time, and I know I'm not telling it right. So I'm so glad to have you on so that they can hear it from your mouth. You just have an amazing story.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So why don't we start with how you got started in real estate? You know, so many people get into this career by default, and I know that you've had obviously your set of obstacles, and you've done obviously tremendously well. And I think your future is beyond bright. But tell us how you got started in real estate.
So I actually got into it by accident. It was not my idea. It was my neighbor's idea. So at the time, I worked corporate America for a while. And then my youngest, when he was born, he got really sick and we almost lost him. And I couldn't imagine handing over a 9-week-old baby to a stranger so I can go to work. So then I was forced to stay home for a while. And while I was staying home, my neighbor was the marketing director of Capital Title at the time. And she's like, GoGo, you're so social and you have so many friends and stuff in social media and all that. She goes, I think you should be a realtor. I already talked to this broker. Go talk to him. And I was like, I watch HGTV. I can do this. Being a stay-at-home mom, I watched a few HGTV house hunt shows. And so I was like, okay, sure, I can do this. And I went and interviewed with the brokerage, Real Estate One, and I did not have a license at the time, but they said if I go and if I pass, they will pay for it. So I did. I passed round 1, got my license. I joined at Real Estate One, and I loved it. I stayed there for 6.5 years. I was the baby of the company. Everybody that worked there was been in the business longer than I've been alive at the time. And so they babied me and I had it really, really good. Through the years, I got recruited left and right, but I just never really had a reason to leave. I had a very, very good cut at Real Estate One and I could kind of just get away with murder. And so I had it good. I had no reason until I started growing my social media and it was growing massively. And now I had suddenly thousands of agents in my database and I had a national and international reach. And because Real Estate One was only a Michigan state company, every time I referred an agent, which was time out of my day, and I love this industry, so I think everybody should be a realtor, at least a side job to make extra money. So I took time out of my day all the time to tell people about real estate and send them towards a brokerage, but I never made any money off of it. And then KW came to me, and them being a national company, they're not international, are they? I think they're just national.
Yeah, I think they might be they're international now.
Oh, they are? Okay. So I didn't know that.
They might not have been back then.
Yeah. So for them being a much, much larger company and being able for me to refer agents nationally and potentially make money off of that, it was a winning point for me. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to make the switch. So February of last year, 2018, I switched to KW because of profit share. And they also were very, very nice to me. Everything worked just fine. I had no reason to thinking about switching again. But when you get a taste for profit share and an understanding of the industry, and then there's other ways that you can make income besides just chasing that next commission, I was like, okay, I truly have to take a look at EXP. And then I had many agents, hijack lunches and turning it into an EXP recruit lunch. And I was like, if one more person talks to me about EXP, I'm going to punch him in the face. And finally, I had this one person that was able to not only tell me the concept and the numbers behind the EXP model, but also show me how you're able to do it. And so that was the winning point. And so of November 1st of last year, I switched over to EXP.
Awesome. So let me ask you a question. Where are you from?
Oh, you wanted me to go back that far, huh? So I am Hungarian by nationality. I was born in Transylvania, which is a part of Romania now. So I also speak Romanian as a second language.
Nice. And so you moved over here with a bunch of money to get started in real estate.
Yeah, and a big family and a pool of people to work in sales and all the cousin and high school friends, and now everybody buys from me. Negative. I moved here when I was 21. I borrowed $200 because my parents didn't have money and I didn't have money, but I had the big dream. I'm going to America. And so I borrowed $200 from a friend who had money. And I got on a train, then I got on a plane, then I got off in New York, and I realized I thought I speak English until this big black guy was talking to me at the airport. And I said, English, please. And he said, I'm speaking it. And I was like, oh, we have problems. If you are speaking English, then I'm not speaking English. So that's how it started. It was very hard at first because slang is very, very big part of the English language. So unless you saw the movie or you heard the song that sentence is from, being an outsider, you're not going to understand what that means. So the hardest part I had was to learn how and what slang means and when you can use it.
Gotcha. So what did you do from there? So this is what I think is pretty amazing is that you literally came here to the United States barely speaking.
Can I tell you a secret? What I just bought? I just bought Au Pair to Millionaire. It's going to be my book.
Nice.
Because I came as an au pair. So I came as a live-in nanny. And now I am on my way. As you said, my future is very bright. So I'm way on my way to be a millionaire.
There you go. So you came here, you did that. You obviously you had some obstacles and obviously you've now you have your family, you're in real estate. Mm-hmm. You've joined EXP. Why don't we talk about that a little bit? That we're part of being on the OneBigFire podcast is, our goal is, to everybody kind of put their fires together and build one big fire. What's been your experience around, the collaboration side and people helping each other within the EXP community?
Oh my gosh, it's life-changing. So, I can't say I've been in the industry for a long time, but it's been 7 years. It feels like forever. And my experience by far before I switched to EXP has been that top producing agents will keep their information because they earned it and they have all the right. It is their experience. It is their knowledge. And by giving you that knowledge through their experience, which would speed up your process to their success, so sad, you have the option of taking away a slice of their pie, eventually maybe their whole pie. So I totally understand why they were guarding the information they gained through the years, but the EXP model is totally different. And that was one of the huge reasons, because on social media, I share snippets of my day all the time. I share my knowledge for free all the time, and that comes natural to me, and it also makes me feel good because now I'm contributing. But everything else, my experience in the past was that nobody felt the same way. If I went into a top producing agent's office and I said, oh my gosh, this thing just happened with this post-closing occupancy, what would you do? Or did this ever happen to you? What are my options? And then she would be like, oh, that never happened to me before. And I'm like, oh shit. Can I say that? Excuse my friend. It's not. I was like, bullshit, it never happened to you before. You cannot become a top producing agent and not have a clue about post-closing occupancy. Clearly, you don't want to share with me. And that's okay, because I'm coming for a slice of your pie. But now, because you were mean to me, I'm going to come for a whole freaking pie. And that's just my attitude and mentality about life in general. But the cool part is with EXP is that my success is built on other agents' success. So if I can't show them the way, if I don't teach them my ways, and not that I hold the key every answer, that's not the point. But the point is to the ones that I do know the answer, if I don't share that, they are going to have a longer time getting to their success, which in return going to take me much longer time to get to mine, because our success are built on one another. So here, when you share, like it was like, you remember the one in Cincinnati? It's like diarrhea of the mouth. Everybody's raising their hand to tell them their way so we can all benefit. Like, it's wonderful how much information they share with one another. And so this model is finally home to me because I can share and then I benefit. And so will they.
So let me ask you this. I think that I don't know. I mean, you've for those, a lot of people are interested in EXP for different reasons, and what interest and excited you the most when you saw the EXP opportunity across the board? Was there one thing that kind of stood out more than anything else?
So yes and no. I already knew that I had to change up my ways. So last year in February, so this is just before I switched to KW, I went to a Toney Robbin seminar, Business Master in West Palm Beach. And at that seminar, you learn a lot of things. Amongst all those things, I learned that most of the millionaires have at least 7 different ways of income, and 6 of which are passive. They only trade their time for one. And I was like, oh, okay, clearly I'm not doing something right. So I was making very, very good money at the time, but all my eggs were in the same basket. So I already knew, even when I switched over to KW, then I have to do it to figure out multiple revenues of income and also figure out passive income. Because Warren Buffett also says that if you can't figure out a way how to make money while you're sleeping, you'll never be rich. So I already had this mentality going into KW, and now especially starting a career at EXP, then I have to figure out a way how to make multiple ways of income and leveraging other people's time and efforts. So then I'm not trading my own time for money every single day, 24 hours a day. So with all that being said, for me, one of the major parts was the cap. So I had a $21,000 cap at 18 plus 3 at KW, which was okay. It's kind of nationwide. It's kind of standard. Prior to that, I think the most I ever paid was about $37,000 a year. And so by having a $16,000 cap here at EXP and having the ability to get it back, that was huge. Because now, yes, I have 16, but if I'm a top producer and if I have 20 more transactions after I cap or $5,000 worth of fees, I have the option of getting it all back. So that's huge. That's $16,000 year after year after year that stays in my account versus in somebody else's. Also, I was always 70-30. So by switching over, I saved 10% on every transaction. That stayed more money in my account. Also, the broker fee that we charge, I used to charge $4.95 at KW, and I didn't get to keep it all. Where at EXP, I get to keep it all. So that's another way of income. What else? So the stocks, of course, that's huge. No other real estate company offered me anything like that. So I've been with the company now for 6 months. And in 6 months, I have about, can I say how much I have, or is that not okay?
I don't know why you couldn't. I mean, I'm not.
So it's not $1 million by any means, but it is 607 stocks, I think, that I earned in the 6 months. So those are stocks that I didn't trade my money for, which equals to, let's say it's $10 a piece. It just kind of depends on the stock market. But if it's $10 a piece, that's another $6,000 in 6 months. That's $1,000 a month. That's going towards my retirement plan that, again, I wasn't able to get anywhere else through my career. And then most importantly is rev share. So,
well, how about the did you say the equity program where you can put 5% in? Do you do that too?
Well, yeah, and I do that too. I do the equity program, so I automatically take 5%. I'm the kind of saver that if you take it out of my account and I don't see it, I don't spend it. So I just have it set up automatically where every time I close, they take 5% and I get to buy stocks in EXP at a 20% discounted rate.
Gotcha.
So I don't even pay attention. They just take that out and I'm happy. I believe in the company, so I don't check the stock prices daily. I believe it's going to be like a Microsoft cute little stock down on the road.
There you go.
So yeah, so I love that part. And then rev share for me, it's a kind of a major component because I get to talk to thousands of agents. On my different social media platforms, I have over 50,000 agents and I get to reach on a daily basis. And so that's huge. That's money that I'm leaving on the table because I'm going to have that conversation about real estate anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that every single day, multiple times a day with agents or people who are thinking about becoming an agent, or agents who are successful and thinking about building a team, or agents who are successful but want to have a social media presence. So I'm pretty much talking to agents every single day. So it's silly for me not to monetize on that if there's a way.
So let's talk about that for a second. I know you go around the country teaching social media classes. How important has social media been to your overall strategy?
It's 100% of my business. So if I think about this all the time, if one day, let's say Instagram or Facebook just decides to shut us down, I'm out of business. Because
the crazy thing is that so for those of the people that don't know that might listen to this, RevShare is, this is how I explain it, is EXP's allowed you to build your own brokerage across North America. And benefit from other agents. So think about it like a team model, but this is, you have your own virtual brokerage and you've recruited agents. And in fact, you've done over 40 personal recruits, right?
Yes, I think we are at 44 now.
So you're at 44 personal recruits. And I think that might be the fastest. And I'm not going to say might, I don't know of anybody that's done it faster than you. And you're saying that you've done most of that. You've recruited mostly strangers who you've connected with by creating.
I don't even like to use the words recruited because I don't recruit, I attract.
So let's say, so you've attracted strangers to partner with you at EXP, and most of these people you didn't know, but you met them through social media, and most of them you've never met face to face.
Yeah, so I would say probably 80% of the agents on my team, even though I know them now in person, because we do this, we do videos like Zoom calls every single Wednesday at 1:00. We have a mastermind every last Thursday of the month. Everything is through Zoom. So I have seen their faces, I have heard their voices, but probably 80% of them I have never met in person.
That's incredible. So how big you want to grow it?
Oh, do you really want to know?
I really want to know.
I said when I signed up with Mark and Kurt, I said that I will have 100 by the end of the year, 100 agents on my team. And I'm sure they were just laughing at me of like, sure, that's adorable. Where did you put that number from? And to be honest with you, I am kind of a man of my word. So I also believe that the universe listens. And if you put out there something to the universe, then it's going to happen. It's like a personal GPS. So if you tell the universe, this is where I'm going, and you give it a time frame, then the GPS kicks in, the universe kicks in, turns on your GPS, and it's going to show you how to get there. So by saying it out loud, and I said I'm going to have 100 by the end of the year, now I have to keep my word and going to have to figure it out. But also by saying it out loud, I told the universe where I want to be.
Yeah, and the thing that people got to understand, she's not saying 100 in her total rev share group. For those of you that are familiar with the model, where you might refer to people on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh level, that would be a part of your team. Some of those people you've never met before and you never talked to because they're farther down in your group. She's saying,
I can count those. So I have 14 now in my second generation that I've never met. I don't know who they are, but I don't count those into my numbers.
That's what I was saying, is you're only counting with people you directly recruited.
Yes, my first generation, my direct recruits.
Which is impressive. And I just want to say that's I'm super proud. I think that's amazing. And not only just because of you, I think that you're inspiring other people. I did an interview. The last interview I did was with a guy named Dan Hilsman, and he got into the business and he's done really well. Obviously, he's got 16. I mean, he's got 100 in his rev share group, but he's only, I think, directly recruited maybe 16 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So not as successful as you, and and he works at it pretty good. So that's not any feat. What would you say, has been the real secret to your success?
I think it's the fact that I'm real on social media. So there are days when I don't have makeup on. There are days when I'm beachside. Then I have days, then it's good days or bad days. I share everything. I can't say bad because I really don't share the negative. I feel that there's plenty of that going around. You don't need to hear mine. But I think of being real and sharing the everything about real estate what's going on, what it takes to be a realtor, my hustle, sharing my success. So they get to travel with me. They get to see my lifestyle and what the hustle brings. Now they want a slice of that. They're like, well, if GoGo can do it, then I can do it. Then they come like, hey, how did you do it? Like, can you help me with that? And then of course I can. I'll just tell you that my coaching, my mentoring, everything that I do from now on forever, it's free to them. And it's also free to everybody else they bring to the company. So I created GoGo's Bootcamp. It's pretty much gogosbootcamp.com. It's open for the general public, but it is open to the reason why I created it is to help my team also to leverage my knowledge and then share it with everybody they bring to the company, but also to help them grow and figure out how they can generate and become their own Zillow so they can do their transactions and find all their leads for free. So even though I have a large marketing or social media presence, I don't pay for leads. I never have. So my goal is to teach everybody how to do what I've done and how to do it for free without having to spend marketing dollars.
So let me ask you a question. That's awesome.
So then by being able to give that, to them and also giving my knowledge and coaching and mentoring and all that for free, there's a reason why they should switch. It's not just that I'm going to become your sponsor and I'm going to make money off of you. It doesn't work like that. I still put in a ton of my time to help them and train them. So every Wednesday we do training. Every last Thursday we do a mastermind. I have my own group where I post daily. So when I go on all these seminars with you guys, I share snippets of everything that I learned with them. So then they can grow with me without having to travel and spend the money.
There you go. And the amazing thing is that the proof is in the pudding. It's working.
It is. And that's the other thing you asked about EXP.
It's the whole create value and add value and help other people and care about them, and they'll actually want to work with you. You know what I heard, and not to interrupt, I just want to say this one thing is that I heard that if you make someone feel like you're going to care for them more than their current broker, it's not a matter of if, it's when they come over.
Exactly. And by far, I want to say that the atmosphere on Team GoGo is amazing. I mean, we wish each other happy birthdays. We cheer on each other. We post inspirational quotes every day of like, go get them, guys. And Team GoGo is awesome. And everybody is like, I can't even tell you. I finally feel like I'm doing something that is for the greater good and we all succeeding simultaneously.
So what would you say to somebody if they were, well, let me ask this question. What's the biggest misconception in the marketplace? Maybe not for you, but you see out there. What's the biggest thing that people are I guess misconception is the best word. What's the biggest?
I mean, I have a bad taste
around EXP.
Yeah, I had a bad taste in my mouth regarding EXP because I had some, as I said, some hijacked lunches. Like I'm a very blunt and upfront person. If I have a problem with you, we're the first to know. I'm not going to go behind your back and tell somebody that I don't like you. I don't work like that. So when people invite me out for lunch or coffee and hey, let's talk about the industry, and then it turns into an EXP recruit, I'm about headed. So I had some experiences in the past when I was like, this is not cool. You know what I mean? If you want to call me and you want to tell me that you want to talk to me about EXP and you invite me out for lunch, that's okay. But don't invite me out for lunch and then talk to me about EXP. So I had a bad taste in my mouth. So I think there are certain ways that we can. And that's why when people say, then I recruit, I always correct them to say I attract. Because I don't want to use the word recruiting because to me, that feels like I am trying to force people to do something that they don't want to do themselves.
Gotcha.
That was the only thing to me about EXP is the model that because I had a bad taste in my mouth, then I just draw the conclusion that it's a pyramid and that's all they're doing and nobody's actually doing real estate. They're just all recruiting. And that's not the case. I mean, I capped 3 months into the or 4 months, I think, into being with the company. I'm still closing. I'm still doing all that. I'm going for Icon because I want my money back and all that stuff. So real estate doesn't stop. All these ways are just additional ways on top of being able to have a lifestyle and build a legacy for my children to go from au pair to millionaire. But yeah, I think the biggest misconception is that all we do is recruit and that we are a pyramid.
Well, let me ask you about this. I have this gal that I've been talking to. I told her I was going to send her this interview, and she's just hell bent on having a physical office. Do you have any people that, because we're cloud based, get hung up on the office?
I'm laughing here because I run a multi-million-dollar business from my cell phone. A. B. I'm sitting at my dining room table currently while they are finishing my basement, and you can probably hearing them hammer away. So the people that feel that they need the office, they really need to get off that bandwagon, because even the brokerages they're at today, eventually, and I know they're moving a little bit slower than we are, but eventually they are going to be a cloud-based company, because it is just not profitable that way anymore. Not that it wasn't profitable, it's just not anymore, because there's now new ways. Now, if I can prove it to you, then you can do it you can run a multi-million-dollar business by owning a printer and a cell phone. Then why should you own a brick and mortar? Why should you keep the lights on? Why should you have a cleaning crew? Why should you have liability insurance? Why should you have, like all of that?
Well, the argument that I heard is that, well, my clients in my city want to meet me at the office.
Okay, so then meet them at the title company's office, or meet them at your lender's office, or meet them at Regis' office, or rent one. Because
there you go.
I paid I think the most I ever paid was $37,000 in fees in a year. You're telling me then I couldn't go and rent a cute little, adorable little corner office with windows and lights and chandeliers and whatever marble floor for, I don't know, $600 a month? $600 a month. 600 times 12, you're talking $7,200 a year, not $37,000 a year. But my broker is so nice. They're always there to help me. Honey, I'll be your best friend for $37,000. Hand it over. I'll be your best friend.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So it's like all these things to me are silly. They are getting hung up on something that's so 2018. We are not there anymore. That's not going to be the biggest problem. The biggest problem is going to be how to find leads if they don't get on the technology bandwagon.
There you go. So let's talk about that. What do you, and outside of, your social media stuff, what things do you feel like, because I know, well, let's just go, let's not make any rules, no boundaries. Let's say you recruit somebody and I do ask this question to everybody I've ever interviewed up to this point. What do you tell agents that are looking at EXP? How does EXP help them generate more leads?
Yeah, so it's usually, I have a few questions though to the people that decide or interviewing to see if they're interested about EXP. I have two questions usually. Are you self-motivated and are you tech savvy? Because if they're neither, they're not going to make it with this model. Because I'm not going to call you every morning to make sure you rolled out of bed, you brush your teeth, and you're ready to tackle the world. I'm not going to make your Facebook posts. I'm not going to call your clients. I'm not going to follow up with your past clients for having 5-star reviews on Google. You're going to have to do that. So if they are not self-motivated, I can lead the horse to the water. I can't make them drink. So that's a major thing. They're going to have to wake up. They're going to have to run a business, and they have to hold themselves to it. And then the technology part comes into it, because they have to be able to figure out KV Core. They have to be able to figure out the world. They have to be able to work off of a cell phone. They have to be able to upload and download apps. Like, there's just a lot of things that they have to be able to figure out. But as soon as they figured it out, KV Core works like a well-oiled machine. I have always had CRM programs, and I always had databases, and websites, and this is by far the best solution to our problem. You can truly become your own Zillow. So this is what happens with KV Core. If they followed me or whatever, if they have a social media presence and they already have that platform with hundreds, if not thousands of people following them, then coming over to EXP, it's very, very simple, because you get your own website. And with that own website comes, so it's my first name, last name, .exprealty.com. That comes with KV Core, which has the lead generation system and CRM program built right into it for $85 a month. All you pay is $85 to be at EXP. So with that being said, so for example, I wake up every Monday morning. We post one of my listings. So that listing comes from my KV Core links. I go onto my website, find my own listing, take the link, post it to Facebook, and say, "Have you guys seen this adorable little home in #Pinckney, #Michigan? ? So then again, I hashtag the location. So it generates more traffic to that post. And also when anybody clicks it, the system is smart enough to steal their information. It's going to show me that Kevin Smith clicked that listing at 2:00 in the afternoon. Then I say, hey, Kevin Smith, how are you? I see that you looked at my listing. Are you interested in that home? Are you on the market? Can I show it to you? Do you have already an agent? Yada, yada, yada. Whatever your follow-up strategies are. And so that's pretty much it. Now you became your own Zillow. All you need to do is keep posting. So every Tuesday, we just post a listing, anything that's a good deal, or it's a beautiful home, or it's a lake property, or an investment property, or a rental, whatever it is. Every Tuesday, something different. Every Wednesday is here's a link where you can search for homes. So they can literally plug themselves into my database by searching for anything that they want to look for. Every Thursday is open houses, because I want them to have just enough time to, for the weekend to schedule out their open houses. And then every Friday is how much your home is worth. So by posting those links every single week, time after time after time, now I have thousands of people in my database. All I need to do is follow up. Now ask me if I do. So the concept is great. I am not great at cold calling. So even though these are warm calls, they still literally just sit in my database until they call me.
Then your phone rings.
But everybody else doesn't have to do what I do. They can go ahead and call those people back. You have everything about them in your database.
Hey, is there a song that anyone ever sings related to your name?
Oh, wake me up.
Yeah, before. Yeah, I just thought of that.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. This has been great. So, let me, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. And I do, first of all, I want to thank you, so much for jumping on. If you were, let's say if you were going back in time and you were going to whisper in your own ear and give yourself advice about joining EXP, what would you tell yourself?
Do it faster, earlier.
Everybody, I asked that to every single person that's come to EXP, and everybody says the same thing. I wish I would have done it earlier. Yeah. Even 6 months earlier would be a game changer, right?
Oh, what happened? Look at what happened in 6 months. It's unfreaking believable. So I'm like, even though I have all these charts that you guys share of like, oh, you can calculate your future rev share by using this chart and you plug in the numbers. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I just put in the future time and push the button and be there? I don't want to calculate it and assume that this is what's going to happen, a year from now and 2 years from now and 3 years from now. I want to experience it. I want to be there. I want to feel it.
Heck yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. What are you most excited about?
The future.
I know, what part?
Oh gosh, the part where I can truly, I already say that I don't work. And by that, I mean, I get to do what I love. So when I roll out of bed in the morning, I don't feel like I'm working. But to take that one step further, I want to be able to do that from an island on my yacht.
There you go.
Or, flying home to Romania on my cute little jet and visit my parents wherever I feel like, or building a house for my sister back at home and just be like, here you go, just build it big enough where you can, hold me and my family when we come home for a month every single summer and just have it. Like, I want to be able to give. I want to be able to surprise people of like, here's a house for you. Here's a car for you. Here's a vacation for you and your family. And let's all go on freaking spring break, all 50 of us, and I'll pay for it. Like, I just want to be able to help the ones that love me, because I'm not easy to love. I'll give you that. To be able to, I don't want to say to pay for their love, but to be able to give back in a ways, because I feel like money-wise, out of where I come from, and out of all my friends and my history, I am the well-off. The most well-off, and I want to be able to give them that experience so they can experience what I worked so hard for.
Well, let me ask you this, and that's amazing. That's when's this book going to be done?
I just bought the domain because I got a gut feeling yesterday I need to write a book, and it was actually it was in Vegas. I was sitting at breakfast with Mark, and Mark Z, and he looks at me and he goes, "You need to write a book, and you need to name it Au Pair to Millionaire." And I was like, "Okay." There I go, GoGetty.com. OpenMillionaire.com. I bought it. I told Mark, I said, I'm going to have to pay you for your idea for the title. But that's how talking about giving. We were just talking about where I came from and how I got to the US and all that. He is 2 above me. So he sponsored Kurt and Kurt sponsored me. And he's number 2 agent here in the state of Michigan. Amazing soul and happy to share anything that he can. And he actually gave me the idea for the book. So it's a very, very new idea. And I don't necessarily feel like I'm there yet. So as soon as I am officially a millionaire, I'm going to write a book. But I have the title.
Who sponsored Mark?
Dan Beer.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then Dan Beer was sponsored by Curtis Johnson. And then
gotcha.
was sponsored by Jay Kinder, I think, isn't it?
Chuck Fazio.
Think so.
Yep. Awesome. So you last little, but what I was fishing for, just so you know, when I said most excited about, I thought you were going to say EXP going international.
Oh, I'm excited about that. I can't wait. I have friends in every single continent, every single country. As soon as you think I'm doing good now, just wait until Europe opens, honey. You have no idea what hits you. Yeah, I'm going for it like Donkey Kongs.
I like it. It sounds like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I just feel like there is no ceiling here. Like you get to work with, and it's not who I'm attracting. It's like I get to work with these people. I get to build an empire with these people. I get to watch them grow, and by them growing, I grow. I get to teach them everything I know so they can get to where I'm at much faster. So it's not going to take them 7 years to figure out what I know today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this model is it's amazing. It's unbreakable.
What would you say to people that say, hey, I think I've waited too long, it's too late?
For them to, it's not too late. We are at 21,000 agents. There's 2.4 million in the country. We are just a drop in a bucket.
Yeah, some people say you might be too early.
I'm happy. I'll take that.
That's awesome. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for jumping on this podcast, and being first, and you're everywhere. You're not only, you're every event I go to, you're there. You're at the Kentucky Derby. You're in Vegas. I'm sure you're going to be in Orlando next week, right?
Yes.
So you were in Kentucky.
I texted Brent last week before this event when he invited me, and I said, I'm coming, and you know why? And he goes, why? I said, because I'm going to come and learn everything you know and then use it against you. And with this model, it's awesome because everybody's cheering you on to pass them. This is the only model I ever worked in where everybody's no, you go ahead, honey. You go past me. You go flying colors and sail away because we all benefit from each other's success. So it's freaking amazing. So yeah, that's where I go because I'm in this sponge phase of my life. I feel like that's all I want to do is literally read books and watch documentaries and attend events and soak up as much information as I possibly can. I was in bed at 9:30 in Vegas on the first night and 8:30 on the second night. And I looked at Tina and when she texted me at 8:21, she's like, you ready to go up? And I'm like, we cannot freaking go to bed in Vegas at 8:30 at night. We have to at least have a drink. But that's how I am. All day, I just pay attention. I take note. I don't know if you ever see me. I'm constantly on my phone. As soon as an idea hits my head, instead of just writing it down, I'm texting the person. I'm getting done. Even though Brent said, put your phones down. Oh, hell no, I'm not putting it down. I'm getting stuff done while this is happening. I'm implementing it as you're talking. I don't have to wait 24 hours to make it happen. So Tina, I was said, let's just have a drink because I don't want to come back from Vegas and say that I went to bed at 9:30 and 8:30. It's just not cool. I'm not that old. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But I am in this phase of I just want to learn and implement and grow and not necessarily a party phase of my life anymore. Grew out of that. But yeah, of course I'm going to these events. I can learn everything.
Heck yeah. So you'll be in Orlando at the shareholders meeting.
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I want to just say again, I'm so glad that you jumped on. I think you're going to inspire so many people. I know there's a bunch of people that, will be inspired by you sharing your story. They'll either take action or they already took action and they'll take more action. But I do feel like you just, your story is very inspiring and I'm so glad to be partnered with you.
Thank you. And I want to ask you, so quite a few people from Team GoGo are going to be there, and I would like to have a happy hour, and you and Jay and everybody who's in above me to come, so then everybody can meet you guys face to face. Is that okay?
You know it. OneBigFire. Love it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I need to run to pick up my baby from school.
All right. Thanks again for jumping on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay, bye.
And hey, GoGo.
Yeah.